Okay, so here is my guard passing A game, and the way that this works for me is that I'm always trying to connect all my guard passes to this one guard passing system, which I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment. Usually I'm only a few steps away from getting into this system, so my goal is to master this guard passing system and being able to attach it to as many guard situations or positions as possible. That way, my guard passing game is very simple. It's not very complicated. I don't need to know a million guard passes. I just need to get really good at these ones. So the idea is to get standing over my opponent, one hand on the knee, one hand on the near side lapel. And what I'm doing here is, I'm making sure that he's got one foot stuffed between my legs. All right, so sometimes I might be, entering from the outside. And I'm controlling the feet and stuffing one foot to the inside, moving up towards the knee and getting the lapel here. And other times, I might be coming from down low. And moving into the same situation, all right? And there's a lot of variety in that, like I said, from butterfly guard, from other guard positions, spider guard, how can I get here? Now, once I'm here, I'm paying attention to kind of what's happening with the legs. Sometimes in this position, they'll have their ankles crossed, like that. Other times, we'll be trying to bring this foot to my hip, like this. Other times, he might be more in a De La Riva type of position here, all right? So let's say first, we're here. I'm in position. Maybe his ankles are crossed right now, but I feel his intention is to bring his foot to my hip. So he's trying to bring that foot to my hip to maybe push and create some space, all right? So I want to try to keep my elbow in towards my hip to make that difficult. So we're here, kind of like pull the lapel, push the hips in, and make it difficult for that foot to get in there firmly, all right? So from that situation, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sidestep. I step out with my left leg and I bang my right knee against his. All right, this is going to bring me down to the knee cut position. And you'll notice how when I move into the knee cut position, I keep the elbow tucked so that if he tries to bring in a knee shield, it's very difficult. I'm blocking it. I'm also going to be leaning into that knee a little bit here. And then from here, if it goes my way, I'm going to try to pin a wrist down, block the far bicep, and slide into the side crucifix position. Shin over bicep, base over the head, get my far side underhook, and then switch leg positions. So option number one is doing my knee cut pass. If I'm going for that knee cut, and he's able to slip in that knee shield, I go from the knee cut to the X pass. Right away, I'm gonna push off of this leg and punch this arm across as I kick this leg straight back. Go to the X pass where I'm gonna end up in knee on the belly. So again, if I'm going for the knee cut and he brings that knee shield, I kick right around. Okay, if we're looking at a little bit more of a De La Riva position, where we're here, maybe he's pushing on that leg a little bit first, trying to stretch me out from my headquarter stance. In this situation, I'm going to back step. So I'm pushing on the knee here, I'm driving my knee into his leg a little bit, and as he gives me resistance, I'm going to back step. Fall down by the hip, base over the head, and now I'm just kind of in this reverse quarter guard position that I'm going to work out of. Move into side control. Okay, so far we have being in this situation. If he brings the foot to my hip, knee cut. If he shields me here, X pass. If he works towards a De La Riva position, from here I'm going to back step. If his ankles are crossed, I'm gonna drive my hips in, and once I get a little bit of resistance again, I'm gonna stuff that knee in. And now I'm framing his knee out so he can't bring it back with my hand. I don't wanna let go of that because I'll just pop it right back through. Or replace that with my knee so he tries to pull it back through. It's blocked, I'm gonna fall to a top quarter mount position right here. And then I have different sets of attacks from here. For instance, if he tries to start shrimping out over here, framing out on the leg, I like to get a hold of this lapel here, thumb goes inside, extend my arm a little bit to make that difficult. So I get him looking up instead of towards my leg. And then sometimes here I can actually go for the choke. I'm just gonna grab this top lapel and punch down now. So lean into it. If that's not working, I can push that shoulder in a little bit, slide behind and take the back. Maybe get a rear lapel choke here. So that's 4 passes I like to work in this system. And so I pretty much just continually practice those 4 passes over and over again. I do have some other passes I like to use, but this is my top situation, my A game. One more time through. So understanding how this works in A game building system is I have my original position, which is the headquarters position, hand on the knee, hand on the lapel. And then we always ask the question, well, what if? So in this situation, what if he brings the foot to my hip? In that situation, my answer is going to be, I'm going to knee cut. And if I can block that knee shield, I'll continue. But in that same line of thought, I go for the knee cut. What if they get the knee shield? In that situation, I go for the X pass. What if they cross the ankles? Boom, boom, I pass over into quarter mount. Stuff the knee and go to quarter mount. What if they focus on De La Riva and try to create distance? In that case, I back step. And that's how we build those A games. Just like on the sheets that I provide in our A game systems course, you start with your primary position specifically, and then you ask the questions, what if they do this? What if they do that? And these are like the most common things that you seem to come against when you're drilling, when you're sparring. Then you come up with answers. So we have top position, what if, what if, what if, and we start to build columns. Those columns get deeper, your system gets even better. All right, so this is my A game system for guard passing. And once again, I try to connect this to as many positions as I can. I'm usually just a few steps away. For instance, again, if I'm in closed guard, here, I open the closed guard, boom, I start to knee cut across, maybe into a position like this. We're gonna get that knee shield. I come up, right? Or sometimes I could go right into the X pass like we did in the system. If we go back to butterfly guard now, I can work my over-under passes here, or again, I can just stand up, kick a leg out, and go to this headquarters position. If I'm in spider guard, it's all the same thing, guys. I'm gonna break my grip here, 1, come back, stuff it 2, and start working into the position. How many steps away from your guard passing system are you, right? So being able to incorporate it into as many positions as possible is gonna make your guard game easy and effective. One of the reasons why I like this so much is because when you're down in somebody's guard, they can sweep you and submit you equally. But once you stand up, their submission rate goes way down, all right? So you have to focus primarily on defending sweeps, not as much on defending submissions, even though they can obviously still submit you. You don't have to focus quite as much on that. You're more mobile, and it just makes your guard passing game more effective.